What's up, guys? Craig Mack here, Liberty Bell Beekeeper. So I'm gonna out of the property here in a place called Sinking Springs, Pennsylvania. It's outside of Reading, Pennsylvania. So I'm about to drive out on the lawn here and get close up to the house so I don't have to lug gear across an acre. Always sounds worse than it is. So we have a beautiful property here, a beautiful old brick home that's got just some lovely work done with it. Fortunately, we're able to drive on the grass here, and I also have a lift. This is a unique situation in that the lift was already here. Evidently, this house, being as old as it is also infested with bats. So the guys are up here doing work, putting one-way doors. If you've never heard about bat infestations, depending on where you are in the country, up here in the Northeast we have them, but there was a fungus that was going through them for quite a few years. I think a white nose fungus or something like that. And it's a shame to have to relocate a colony of bats like this, but they're in someone's house, and it becomes a dangerous situation because of their guano. From what I understand, is poisonous, essentially. So it can't stay in the house, and neither can the bats. But enough about bats, and let's get to bees. So again, big brick house, some lovely corbels, and from what I can understand is a honeybee infestation. Now my guess is that they're in the eave and not in the corbel, although they could be in the corbel as well, because I think this has been here quite a long time, and not sure what else we're getting into. I got a little issue with some power lines there that I gotta protect myself from, but apart from that, it should be pretty smooth removal. So I'm going to get the lift over here and get all my gear set up and get to work. I'll check back in later. All right, so here we are up atop the lift. I don't know, 30 feet, I guess, maybe 40 feet. So this is a beautiful old home. I absolutely adore homes like this. It's an old brick home. They require so much maintenance. All of this woodwork, it needs to be painted and taken care of, and oftentimes these homes are neglected. Now earlier, like I said, this house is full of bats, it's full of squirrels, there's all kind of things living in this house. Stink bugs. It's getting to be that time of year. Oh no, that's a lanternfly. So anyway, honeybees is why I'm here. And it looks like they got in around this corbel. At some point they had come and recapped this place, it looks like, and probably added this metal soffit material that is, I'm sure, not new or original to the house. But when they capped it up tight to the corbel, they didn't quite get it tight enough, and it wasn't sealed, and it looks like the bees have been in there for quite some time. You notice the discoloration around some of these entry points. That's just traffic dirt. It's like your welcome mat coming in your front door. It's always dirty. Same thing for the bees up here. So this is a long-term infestation. I don't know exactly what the extent of this is. I was called earlier in the summer about this, and an exterminator came out and told them it was hornets. I've come to the realization that exterminators don't really have a clue as to what they're doing and what it is they're actually dealing with half the time, more than half the time, because I've now become the exterminator's favorite phone call. My number gets passed from exterminators all the time for yellow jackets, wasps, and of course honeybees. But wasps, particularly yellow jackets, get mistaken for honeybees all the time. And everybody calls them bees, which they're technically not, because they're portrayed, bees are portrayed in everything in advertising as black and yellow. And some bees are black and yellow, but black and yellow striped is what a yellow jacket is, and that's what often gets portrayed as bees. Honeybees, of course, are probably our most well-known, besides bumblebees, carpenter bees, but honeybees are certainly the most beloved because we use them for so much, and they're such a beneficial creature to us. So anyway, that's why I'm here. I'm up here taking a look and seeing what we're going to get into here. With any luck, I can get this corner of this metal to come out of there pretty gently. I don't know that they're in this corbel. I'm sure that they could have wax built into it. There's certainly enough holes in it to you know, allow them to get inside, but I don't know if they're using it or not as storage space. With all this eave space, I'm anticipating quite a bit of bees, quite a bit of comb, probably on both sides of this corbel if I had to guess. Although I'm not seeing any traffic on the inside, you know, on the outside of this side, they can still access this entire eave area. So we'll see what we get into. My feeling is that this is going to be a doozy, but we shall see. So I'm going to go get myself all set up and then check back in. All right, so we're opened up, and here we are. So they got this whole eave packed up in here. You can see some very old comb down here that they're working, but it looks like they're only storing in it. But we definitely got some new comb up in here. So there's bees in here, has been bees in here for quite some time. And they're just happy as can be. Waka waka. So I'm going to go down and get some of this material off my work area here, and then get into start making some progress on this. We got a lot of stuff in here, a lot of wax up in here. It looks to be a lot of honey caps back up in there. So this is going to be a mess. Very sticky, I'm sure, because I'm working overhead and we're late in the season. So this thing's probably jammed up with honey. And I can imagine by the way this is built that it's going to be just a freaking mess to remove this. I'm going to be soaked. So luckily I started bringing extra shirts because I end up either sweaty and or sticky. There we are. Okay, so this is what happens with these long-term infestations. What I got down here is a big mangled mess of wax. And what I have over here is some nice straight-ish rows of wax. Brand new wax up top there. So what happens is bees die out. Whatever happens, they die out. They abandon the nest or it gets ransacked and the wax all falls to the bottom. In this case, on the underside or the top side of the eave. And the bees will use some of it. You can see they're packing some nectar in some of this space, but a lot of it is just unusable. It's just a mess. But then they'll connect their upper wax down to it. So that's what makes these ones tricky. This has got a lot of junk wax in it, and I'm hoping that I can eliminate a lot of it first and get to the rows so I can remove these bees safely without just bringing big globs of wax and honey and bees down. So that's what happens. You can see the transition from this old, dirty, deformed wax to the new straight lines.